Here's what's making news now around Indiana, brought to you by your Indiana Pacers. Well, the Ports of Indiana is celebrating all-time record shipments in 2018. The state's three ports in Burns Harbor, Jeffersonville, and Mount Vernon handled some 14.8 million tons of cargo last year, marking a 21% increase over the previous record set in 2015. Meantime, Evansville Regional Airport experienced its highest level of passenger traffic in over a decade in 2018. The airport's annual traffic grew nearly 7% last year compared to the previous year, topping 235,000 passengers. The airport's total number of travelers also grew last year to nearly 500,000 people. Construction on an $18 million hotel in downtown Fort Wayne has hit a milestone. Maryville-based developer White Lodging held a topping-off ceremony this week for the 136-room Hampton Inn and Suites by Hilton. And a Jeffersonville-based nonprofit has chosen an architect for a massive park project in southern Indiana. River Heritage Conservancy says Philadelphia-based Olin was selected for the project out of more than 50 proposals. Well, First Merchants Bank continues on a roll, recently earning the #2 spot on Forbes' list of America's best banks, reaching $10 billion in assets. That big milestone also entering the Detroit market. For more on what's fueling the success of one of America's 100 largest banks, let's turn now to CEO Mike Reckin. As always, Mike, welcome to the program.
Good morning, Gary. Thanks for having me.
Well, and each time you come on here, there seems to be more good news. And I mentioned that milestone, $10 billion in assets is quite a milestone.
It really is. It talks to consistency and earnings power and hunger on the part of our teammates.
Well, let's talk about, too, another national ranking recognition, moving up from #4 to #2 on a very prestigious Forbes list.
Yeah, largest 100 banks headquartered in the United States. So we're privileged to be on the list. I'm really proud of the stick-to-itiveness and the consistency out of our team. So we were 4th last year. The company's competitive, and so we like scoreboards. But the criteria are the right ones. It's earnings growth, it's capital strength, it's asset quality and efficiency, and the same kind of things that you would talk about regardless of how you would view a high-performing company.
Well, and you make no mistake about the fact you want to be aggressive and go after strategic acquisitions. You've certainly done that, acquiring Monroe Bank and Trust in Michigan. That's a new state for you as well. Talk about that acquisition strategy.
I think it really is well timed for us as an extension of moving up into Northeast Indiana through Fort Wayne acquisition of 15 months ago. So I think we're going to clearly like the marketplace. We like the Midwest quite a bit. Monroe is equidistant between Toledo, Ohio, and Detroit in communities that look just like markets we already serve. So we're excited about it. We actually have a legal closing later on this quarter, but the early excitement out of the community leaders there has been great and welcoming, and I think our team will do a great job welcoming those folks into our company.
And then eyeing that Ohio, right, in the Toledo market?
Absolutely. If you think about that direct line, if you drew a straight line between Monroe, Michigan, just north of Toledo and on the way to Detroit and Fort Wayne, you'd see a whole bunch of communities that I think might be future opportunity for us.
You mentioned you're a Muncie-based bank with a presence throughout the state of Indiana, here in central Indiana, but a big presence, a growing presence in Fort Wayne with the establishment of essentially a regional headquarters, right, in downtown. Talk about that investment and what you're seeing in Fort Wayne and Northeast Indiana.
Well, we moved right downtown into the Skyline Tower. We've got 50 or 60 folks there now. We're building out some of the business line strength we need to take advantage of a community that's really doing terrifically. I mean, we're excited about some of the big public-private partnerships that are there, and they're very welcoming to get First Merchants inputs into them. Our clients like having us there.
As you look overall at Indiana, at the economy here, how things are going as we head into 2019, what do you see, how do you view or value the Indiana economy, what's going on here?
Well, within the Midwest, kind of put it right at the top of the list. It starts with an umbrella of safety and soundness and solvency at the top, and it kind of trickles down. We're a commercially oriented company in a lot of respects, which creates for confidence at the client level, which allows them to want to generate capital to make their dreams happen, and that's where we like to be. All
right, Mike Reckin is the CEO at First Merchants Bank, continuing to achieve milestones and get some national recognition. Mike, as always, thanks for being on.
Thanks for having me. Thank you, Gary.